out to Judy and Eugene. Sorry we cannot be here today for Judy and Eugene's big day. It was with a heavy heart that I decided not to come due to another pressing matter the following day. I may not have been well for the past 11 months or so, but was delighted when Judy announced her engagement to Eugene. I knew Francis would be made up as he could have an intelligent conversation about farming with his son-in-law, and I'm sorry to Cliffy. When I first met Eugene a couple of years ago, he impressed me with his bold and confident nature. I can be a bit intimidating due to my size, he's a rather big man, and have always had a good relationship with my nieces and nephews. Eugene stood his ground and seemed comfortable with my interrogation, and it's great to see Janet and Francis offload another one. Who's next? Olive, perhaps. You can rest assured I will be in Beaumont Hospital watching Facebook, looking for all the gory details of the day, and get me a copy of the DVD of Janet reading this out, which he won't get. As I say, she's planking it.
I have it.
I think my sisters can never second guess what I'm going to say or do. Now, this is his big advice. I will start with a few comments about marriage in general. A woman always has the last say in any argument. Anything a man says after that is the start of a new argument. 2 words that are needed for a happy marriage. Yes, darling. Marriage is a great institution. Are you ready for an institution? A good marriage will be between a blind wife and a deaf man. Marriage is when a man and a woman become one. The trouble starts when they try to decide which one. Anyway, enough of that. You are here today to celebrate the marriage of my oldest sister's oldest daughter. He's been smart there now. And my oldest niece is married to Eugene, the huge Bob Lynch. I never know if this is Facebook profile, a statement about himself, or something else. Perhaps Julie might answer that question. This is 3 pages long. Back in the early 80s, Janet and Francis announced that they were expecting their first child. This was the first grandchild in our family and caused great excitement. For those of you who are doing the maths, the dates were fine. Julie arrived the following summer, member of our family. First observations were as follows. Look at the amount of hair she has. She's like a small upside-down mop. We concluded that this was from the butler side of the family, as at that time they all looked like they could be bailed. When Julie arrived, I was 16 or 17 or so, and was dispatched to Westmeath for the school holidays every year. As a male teenager, the tractors and the farming part were cool, but having to help out with the baby was dramatic. I just didn't know what to do with this crying, smelling, coo and wind-making machine. I have 2 kids of my own now, so it's not that bad. Julie was lucky to survive my health, and although I'm over 6 foot in height and girth, she was lucky not to inherit my 29-inch legs. The one thing that she may have got from me is her stubbornness and thick-headedness. Some would say that these are not good attributes, but in the situation I find myself at the moment, I find they help. I can remember Julie lying across my forearm, face down, as I winded her in those early days. Her sisters tell me that she hasn't changed that much since then. I also remember coining the phrase, the butler lip. So Eugene, when you see it, there's drama coming. Those days came to the end as the female conveyor belt continued at Janet's. She took a rest after Elaine and Olive, can't imagine why. My job was done and I moved into the role of the doting uncle from Galway, with the funny name that brought cool presents at Christmas. Now for some marital advice for both of you. First for Eugene, most important rules. 1. Your wife is always right. Even when she's wrong, she's right. Number 2. Wives have an incredible memory. Everything you have ever said to her has been recorded and taken down, and will be used as evidence against you in the future. And 3. When you arrive home and you see the butler lick and ask what's wrong, if you get any of the following answers: nothing, I'm fine, you should run. You know something, you've done something, and you're in trouble. He does talk rather a lot. When you ask a question of her, you cannot expect her to use the same perimeters that you men use. Most men tend to be logical and pragmatic when making decisions. Ladies, on the other hand, come to decisions from about 14 other directions that men will never understand, so don't break your head trying to. I gave this advice to a young motorsport marshal one time when he couldn't understand his girlfriend and was trying to second guess her all the time. I explained to stop trying to understand or second guess her, as this was a recipe for disaster. He's now married with 4 kids to the same girl. And last and most importantly, when you are having a row and are looking for advice, never, ever, ever go to your own family, as this will be seen as a declaration of war. The best advice I ever received about my wife has come from her siblings, as they know her best. Eugene, you're spoiled for choice in this department. And then Julie, things to remember about men. Men are simple. Don't try to complicate them. They can't handle it. A man's motives are not always what you think. They do care, but have a funny way of showing it sometimes. Men generally don't have agendas. They want a quiet life without the peaks and troughs. Men do not rock the boat intentionally, maybe sometimes out of stupidity. Also, men don't take hints. Very true. We're clueless at picking them up. If you want something, just ask for it. Don't use code. And then he just ends it by saying, that's enough from me, and hopefully when he gets out of hospital, you'll be there to visit him.